He was diagnosed in October of 1997 and declared cured by Kaiser Oncology in 2002. Anthony's speech this evening will focus on how immensely invaluable encouragement is through the power of words. Can we please give a round of applause?
All right. Madam Toastmaster spoke about my being a cancer survivor. And this is not to evoke sympathy or empathy. And it's not a downer speech. Really, it's an upper speech because I'm talking about encouragement. I was diagnosed, as Madam Toastmaster stated, in 97. And when I went to the doctor, I just thought I was just going in for a routine checkup, and she admitted me that day, had a panic attack. I didn't know, I thought I was going for the weekend. So I went into the hospital, and after months of being diagnosed, of going through all types of tests and all, they came up with the diagnosis in October '97. My friends all told me, let me show you something, this is the bad part now. My friends all told me I lost 17 pounds. My fighting weight was 160. That means you're walking around weight. 160. I lost down to 143. 17 pounds from 160 is a lot. And I looked like I was dying. And my oncologist told me after I had gone into remission that I was dying. I-N-G, dying, in the process of dying. But she told me that after I had gone into remission. Well, the thing is that got me up, and this is the good part. Ed, this is the good part, man. Is that all that time, you know, when you hear the word cancer, I had the worst form. And the thing that discouraged me, my friends gave me books about it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and 30% survival rate, very low survival rate. And then I started, a girl at my job named Shay Nettles died from it, had the same thing I had. And then a rapper by the name of The Big Pun died from it. And then Jacqueline Onassis died from it. And I was really discouraged then because I had motion picture insurance, industry insurance. I had great insurance, but I say Jacqueline Onassis has to have much better insurance than I had, and she died. So I was very discouraged. I had a lot of friends come by and that see me, man, you look bad, you've lost weight. I know I look bad. I see myself in the mirror every day. You should see how I feel. And 2 weeks I slept on my knees. I couldn't lie down. Horrible pain. I just wanted to tell them, I wish you knew how I feel. And they were always telling me, oh, you look terrible, you look terrible, you look bad. But then I had some friends, I had a friend to come by my house, and for some reason, I don't know, big guys, these big bad guys, always want to be my friends. I look at these guys and say, man, I hope this guy don't ever want to fight me. and the guy always comes up to me and wanted to be my friend. I've been in restaurants, hey man, can I get you a drink or something? I'm like, I don't drink. Can I get you an orange juice? Yeah, get me an orange juice. And I don't know why people are like that with me, but big guys always just want to be my friend for some reason. I thank God that they do, because I don't want to fight them. And I've even had them to tell me, hey man, I don't want to fight you. They tell me that. Well, one of my friends came over, his name was Leo, 235, he's 6'2", 235, bodybuilder. And we were just sitting there chewing the fat, and he said, he was asking me about my chemotherapy and all my treatment and everything. I told him about the regimens. And I said, man, you know, I just feel bad because I've lost all this weight. And he just went just like this. Don't worry about it, you'll get it back. And I said, wow, now that may sound flippant and callous to you, but to me, I interpreted that, hey, this guy just said, I'm gonna get it back. Another friend, his name is Mark Miller, 6'5", 275, 280, big guy, came over chewing the fat, just talking. He asked me about my situation. I told him about the chemo regimen, and same thing. He said, oh man, it's no big deal, you can get through that. And that's the second time somebody had done that. I was like, wow, this is great. Just the way they said that. I called a cousin down in Houston, and he asked me, how you doing and everything. I told him about my cancer, the chemo regimen, and he did the same thing. He said, oh, you can get through that. And again, this may sound flippant to you, callous, but to me, I was saying, man, everybody is acting like this is no big deal. I interpreted that as, hey man, I can get through this. And I started thinking, I can get through this. My first chemo, the nurse came in, and I was always afraid of chemo. I didn't know what chemo was. I had heard all these stories about it. I thought it burned when it went in. I didn't know. And the lady, when she first started the chemo, I said, what is that? And I always ask what the drugs are. The doctors are always surprised that I always tell them, ask them, what are you using? And they tell me, I said, I would prefer this and this. And they look at me like, man, how do you know this? I said, this is my body. If you put arsenic up there, I'm not going to let you put that in there. I want to know what that is. Well, I asked the nurse, I said, what is this? And the nurse said, these are the good soldiers that goes in to get rid of the bad soldiers. So I said, yeah, let's keep going with this then. And then she took that one out and gave me another one. I knew it was different. It had another long name, but this one was red. So I said, what is this one? And she said, these are even stronger soldiers going in to kill the bad soldiers, the bad cancer cells. And these things, this was my adversary. Cancer was my adversary. But I had these good soldiers. I had good soldiers and even stronger soldiers. And I felt good about this. And I was, once every 3 weeks, I wanted to, hey, let's start this once a week. If you're giving me good soldiers and stronger soldiers, I want this. And all my close friends were saying, hey man, you can get through this. I had the most positive attitude about that. I can get through this. This is nothing. Even though the other people had died, I can live through this. I can actually get through this. And the thing is, as time passed, I thought about that nurse. I said, I don't think that nurse knew what she was talking about. She did a bit more know what those drugs were than nothing else, even more than I did. But those powerful words of encouragement that she gave me, that is what got me over. I don't care. If she was giving me all these medical terms, it wouldn't mean anything to me. But good soldiers and stronger soldiers killing the bad soldiers, that was great to me. And I was the most positive cancer patient you've ever seen. I was so positive, and I gained from 143 all the way up to 180 to where I had a gut. And I went to the gym and I chiseled that down to 175. And at that time I thought I was looking good. I thought I was pretty. I wasn't pretty as Marie Noel, but I was pretty. I thought I was. Nobody else thought I was, but I thought I was. And the thing I get from this, and I want you to get from this, is what you say to people. I consider myself to be one of the most positive people in the world, and the only thing I will ever say to you is something encouraging. It cuts me to the quick when people say discouraging things to me, not critiques. I can take critiques. I can take positive criticism. But when somebody just says something negative to me, just to be saying it, I mean, that cuts me to my heart, because I have never, ever, ever in my life said anything negative to them. It is always 100% positive. And that's the way we should be with one another. Not lie to each other, but find the good in other people. We will never understand, but I want you to understand the power of words and how to say it. Thank you. I wanted to say too that I usually try to go over time so I could DQ myself from being a candidate for the best speaker. And not that I'm going to be that, but I prefer just to tell my story, not to be in the contest for best speaker. So if you were going to put me down for it, don't do that, please. Give that to somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bravo, man. Well done.